to an extent, worry is a good thing because you're conscious that you want to do well. You're conscious. It just shows that you want to be the best. You want to achieve those your goals. So worrying in its own has its benefit. Okay, but having said that, don't worry too much. Okay. Have you ever found yourself at a crossroad, a point where you don't know whether to go to direction A or direction B, maybe in regards to your business, your relationship, or your career? Maybe after a degree, you've achieved this degree and you don't even know what path to follow. Or maybe you've gone for this business training and you don't know what direction to go. It's not just you, you're not the only one. We all at some point in our lives have gotten to a stage where we don't know what to do next. Even if we have clear goals or we have, you might not know what to do. If this is you, I want you to stay to the end of this episode, and I'll be sharing some tips on what to do, or if you find yourself in this situation, and this is based on my own experience as well. If this is the first time you're here, thanks for joining us. And if you don't know me, I am Bola Adeyeye Omishade, and this is the Bola Adeyeye Omishade Show. It is a community where we support people to be the best version of themselves. So yes, you're in the right place because you would be the best version of yourself at the end of this episode. Thanks for joining us. Now, if you do not want to miss our future episode, do not forget to click on the notification button. And also for my returning viewers, thanks for joining me. I'm always excited to have you on this episode. Thank you. And if you found this episode useful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. That means a lot to me. So thank you. Right. So being at the crossroad, we all have been there. I have been there, and I believe so many of you have been at that point where you don't even know what to do. You don't even know where to take your career to. You don't know where to move your business. You don't know how to move your business forward. You're just, it's just like a stagnant water. You're just there, and you're just taking it. Well, you say you take it one step at the other, but it doesn't seem like you're moving to the next level. If this is you, okay. I remember just after I finished, no, not just after I finished my PhD. I think I had submitted my PhD and I just had my baby. And I was trying to decide on what to, that was before I got called for the job. I didn't really know what to do. And I had all these different ideas and different goals. I'm always very good at kicking off, whatever I want to do. I started it and it was going, but it still felt like I was stagnant. And then I got offered the job. And of course, I took it one step at a time. But is that where I want to be? For me, it seemed like a progression. It seemed like I was in the right path. But the question is that what I want for myself? Is that where I want to be? So what I did was I had to, for so many months, I just kept taking it one at a time. And for everything I was doing, it was okay, but it wasn't to my own satisfaction. So I was at a crossroad because although I was taking it a step at a time, it wasn't really what I really want to do. So I reached out to somebody who is a very, very senior colleague. And then I sat her down and had a meeting with her. And I said, okay, this is where I have been. This is where I am now. These are my challenges. This is what I have done. This is what I have done. And you see, after that I call it a very, very productive meeting, she sort of could relate where I was, and then she told me the mistakes that she identified, the mistakes that I had made, and said, okay, you really have to go back now. It was sort of me going straight away from being just finishing my PhD straight into a lecturer, which of course is very good. The permanent job is, but I had missed some parts that I needed to fill. Everything is a gradual process. So when you just go from it was just like me going from A to E or A to F, and I missed B, C, D. It's a gradual, and of course, if nobody tells you, except you have a clear goal or a clear objective, this is where you want to be, then you wouldn't see it as a problem. But going to her, she could see that I had missed some steps. If I really wanted to achieve, if I really want to get to where I want to be, there are some boxes that I need to have ticked, which I had missed. So if this is you are that crossroad. The question you need to ask yourself: have you missed certain steps? Are there steps that you need to actually take to get to where you want to be? So, and one way to do is don't be scared. I wasn't scared. I reached out to this person. This person is not very close to me, but she's somebody that I know that I really aspire. I admire her work ethics, and I sent her an email and say, okay, this is me, and I would like to, so don't be scared. Look at somebody in your field, in that, or somebody in the who is you, maybe you aspire, you look at their marriage and you value their marriage, or if it's all your business, somebody who has done the business, and say, be very open. That's one thing I would like to say. I always come across as very, very sincere, and I tell you that this is how it is. So I called her and said, this is what it is. I was very truthful, and it was very easy for her to relate and see where the problem was. So reach out to that person and say that this is where I am, this is what I have done, and this is where I intend to be. Because they might have gone through those process, they would be able to tell you that, okay, you have missed this, you have missed that, and then it's always easier, just the way I'm speaking to you now. It is easy for somebody to say, do this and do that, do this and do that. And because it might work for Mr. A and it might not work for Mr. B. Okay, so it is important that those steps that you have taken, you need to take a bold step and look at how other people in that field has also done that advice that person had given to you. Okay, because at the same time, I took those advice that she had given to me. I spoke to those things she said I had missed. I looked for some of my colleagues who are at those stages, and I started speaking to them. I said, okay, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Did you do that? So I started weighing them to have a clear understanding of those things that I have missed. That, okay, I think I have missed this thing. Are you doing that now? Because I feel you are there. You are at this stage now. Are you doing that now? How are you finding it? So, so it's not, I didn't just take that feedback on board. I experimented it, and I tried to get those people who are in that stage. So in regards to your business, maybe it is time to start looking. Maybe the person has said, oh, you're not doing your marketing right, or you have to do your marketing in this way. You have to do your marketing in this way. It doesn't even have to be people, for example, marketing, it doesn't have to people selling the same products as you are. If the person has said you've missed this marketing strategy, get those people that are using those kind of marketing strategy, speak to them, say, how do you find this marketing strategy? Do you think it's, because in the process of doing that, you're learning a lot of things. You're getting informed. Okay, you're getting informed, and you're just one step closer to where you want to be. Now, you might not get to that place where you want to be just right now, okay, but it is still one step in the right direction. And it's always very, very hard to, because I'm really one person that I worry a lot, and when you see me worrying, I just keep saying it over and over again, and I really don't want to let it go. Okay, for those that know me, okay, but I actually got to the stage where I always say, okay, Bola, stop now. You really have to stop, because it just becomes very complicated, because when you're worried about A, he attached to B, he attached to C. So do not spend so much time worrying, even if you are not getting it right. Okay. Just ensure that the feedback you are getting, you are making conscious efforts to, even if you can't really see the progression, you just ensure that you are making very, very conscious efforts to do those things. Even if it is 1 hour a day, 30 minutes a day, trust me, it is always easier said than done. But truthfully, one step at a time would take you, one step at a time, one step in the right direction. Those advice that you get, those people you've spoken to, just do what they've advised you, even if it is tiny little bits, because just doing that would help you stop worrying, because you sort of feel that at least you're doing something, okay, as opposed to sitting and then worrying and thinking over what you want to do instead of actually doing those things, So reduce the amount of time you spend worrying, because if you just keep worrying, as I said, you're going to be stagnant. And like I always say, um, stop comparing yourself. I've said this several times. We're humans. We will do it. We will compare ourselves with other people. Yes, I know. But consciously, you have to keep saying, although we started this business together, this person is doing well. You don't really know the person, the people the other person has spoken to. You don't know their customer base. You don't really know anything. So if you're comparing, you will just remain there, and all you will do over and over is just comparing yourself over and over again. So as much as you can, limit how you compare yourself with other people. Just say, this is me, this is where I am now, and I am making conscious efforts to achieve what I want to achieve. And then lastly, the road is not always easy. It is not always. You don't expect magic to happen. There's nothing like magic, you know. There's nothing like magic. You might seem that you are at a crossroad, but the fact that you are worrying that you're not doing well, truthfully, is you are actually doing the right thing. And one advice I used to give to my younger colleagues that are PhD students, I say to them that the moment you start having sleepless nights, the moment you start dreaming about your PhD, actually shows that yes, you are getting ready you're getting closer to submission of your thesis. Because when to an extent, worry is a good thing, because you're conscious that you want to do well. You're conscious. It just shows that you want to be the best. You want to achieve those your goals. So worrying in its own has its benefit. Okay, but having said that, don't worry too much. Okay, but like I said, it can be good sometimes, because it just helps you to stay on your toes. Because when you're not worried, you're just sat down, you're okay with where you are, and then you just remain stagnant, and then you wouldn't move forward. So worrying in its own can have its benefit, okay? But be very careful to be able to guide and monitor how you're managing worrying, okay? Now, if I want you to, what do you guys think? How have you been able to move away from that stagnant state where you're just there? You take it one step at a time, but it doesn't seem that you're going in the right direction. You're not achieving what you want to achieve, or you're not where you want to be. How have you been able to manage all those? I want to hear from you. Share in the comments section. I want to read your comments, because, of course, it is a learning process for every one of us. And trust me, I am still learning as well, because sometimes it just feel like I'm doing a lot, but it's not just working. I can't see the results, but I just keep going. I trust me, I just keep doing it. I do it, and I always have comfort in the fact that I am in the right direction. So if I, just the way I have comfort that I'm in the right direction, I don't just sit down. I always try to do something, even though it might look like it's stagnant. But yes, share your thoughts. And if you feel that there's anybody that needs to hear these few tips, firstly, speak to somebody who has experience and who has maybe might have gone through the process. Maybe you have missed a gap, the person will be able to have, and be very truthful about the picture to the person, because if you're not truthful, the person will not be able to advise you in the right direction. And secondly, when the person has given you feedback and advice, to look at other people that might have implemented those advice, and still grab one or two and then weigh them and ask them what their experiences are. Okay, and then stop comparison. Don't compare yourself with other people. Yes, don't compare, because when you're comparing yourself, you just remain stagnant and then you keep worrying. Okay, like I said, it's okay to be worried because it puts you on your toes. It just makes you make conscious efforts to go in the right path. And finally, yes, be very truthful. Take it one step, even if it looks like it's not it's not clear. Ensure that you are doing something, even if it is tiny little bit, to achieve those your goal. Okay, and if you have found this very useful, share it with anybody that needs to watch this. Share with your family, share with your friends, and hopefully, yes, I hope you have found this very useful. And like I said, leave your comments in the your comments in the in below, so that every other person can read. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions or you have any topic that you want me to treat, as usual, do not forget to leave me an email and follow our social media pages. And I'm happy to see you. Thanks for watching till the end. Until I see you again next week. This is Bola Adeyeye Omishade. Bye.